I really hate when Americans are all, this doesn't have anything to do with me. Do you live here? Are you an American citizen? Are you a taxpayer? Then it has something to do with you. So our Christo-fascist House Speaker, and 5 goes west if he became a human, Mike Johnson, released a standalone bill just for aid to Israel. And that's kind of curious because the Senate already negotiated a bill, a drain your funding for the military-industrial complex bill, that would provide funding to the southern border, to Taiwan, to Ukraine, and to Israel. Now, not only did AIPAC do record-breaking bribes, sorry, I meant donations, to Congress, to people on both sides of the aisle. It's bipartisan, folks. But Mike Johnson is one of the largest recipients of money and funding from AIPAC. And in his standalone bill proposal, he wants to give them $17.6 billion. That is on top of the $14 billion they already got in October. How's that student loan debt treating you? How's your low wages? How's your lack of health care? How's the fact that you can't get paid family leave and you can't afford childcare for your kids? You want to know why we're so broke all the time? Why our government's pockets are always empty when it comes to doing anything for the American people? I don't know. Maybe it's because we're giving I need you guys to pause for a second and think about how much money $1 billion is, okay? $1 billion is such an unfathomable amount of money for 99.9% of people. The idea that we're gonna give them another $17.6 billion on top of the $14 billion we already gave them. Stop asking why we're broke. Stop asking why Americans don't have money, why we can't afford nice things. And while we're at it, let's talk about this welfare queen for a second. You see that? You see this chart? These are the countries that we give military aid to, okay? Well, who's at the top? Who has the most military aid? Israel is the largest recipient of U.S. aid ever to their military. Military! Ayman Mohyeddin did a great report on this on his show last night, so you should go and watch that. And he pointed out the difference in the rules and how they apply to other countries, but not Israel. Israel doesn't get defunded despite the fact that there have been mass reports of human rights abuses. The ICJ already ruled that it was plausible they were carrying out genocide, but do you see any calls to defund them? No? Bueller? Now, I will remind everybody that there are laws in place that make it so that if a country is committing human rights abuses, the U.S. can cut their funding. But we didn't do that. In fact, the ghouls and gargoyles in our State Department actually went around the Leahy law that makes it so that you have to be following human rights laws in order to get military funding and continue to supply them weapons despite the accusations that were very credible of human rights abuses. Meanwhile, they cut $300 million in funding to UNRWA, which is nothing, by the way, in comparison to the $17 billion plus $14 billion we gave to Israel because of an accusation. An accusation. They have not proven what Israel is claiming that they did. It was merely an accusation that was enough to cut funding, and now we're going to starve a bunch of Palestinians to death. But the IOF can be credibly accused of human rights violations. I mean, we can just see them on fucking video. And not only does funding not get cut off to them, Antony Blinken and the other trash pail kids in the U.S. State Department go around the rules to ensure that they get the money. And then they've got the fucking minerals to come out and be like, we see you, we hear you, we're very concerned. Shut the fuck up. So let's circle back. If you are an American and you pay taxes, your money is going to this garbage. Your money is going to fund this genocide. Even if you don't give a fuck about the suffering and the humanity of the Palestinians, look at it from your own selfish perspective for a second, okay? You are paying for this, and it is all connected. The next time you wonder why you can't afford shit, why you don't have any dignity at your job, why you can't afford a house, and why you can't afford to send your kids to fucking daycare, ask yourself, where is your tax money going? It is going to wipe out children in Gaza. Call your senators. Call your congresspeople, tweet at them, tell them to not support this bill, and tell your congresspeople and senators to sign on to the bill that Bernie Sanders introduced to cut funding, because our trash Democrats rejected it.